When the founding fathers of Delta Upsilon met on November 4th, 1834, they all held fast to the ideal of counteracting the evil of the secret societies. The preamble to the original Williams Constitution was, in effect, the agreement to which a new member subscribed upon entering the fraternity. From old minutes of the Williams and Amherst chapters, however, the genesis of the initiation rite can be traced. In 1840, the Williams chapter had a very simple service. The secretary, having read the Constitution to those present, extended an invitation to join the society. Those who accepted this offer were asked to take the following pledge. You affirm upon your honor that the principles of this society, as expressed in its preamble and Constitution, accord entirely with your views, and you pledge yourself faithfully to adhere to them. Thus, the history of the Delta Upsilon initiation ritual begins. From that point in 1840, things began to evolve. Upon the direction of the Anti-Secret Confederation in 1847, the pledge was revised and finally included the fraternity's constitution in 1848. The initiation practice then consisted of the reading of the organization's constitution to the new members, which now included the pledge. In 1864, the name Delta Upsilon and subsequently a newly designed badge were officially adopted. On October 15th of that year, the Washington and Jefferson chapter wrote a letter to the Rutgers chapter which polled their opinion on the initiation practices and remarked that merely taking a pledge and reading the Constitution seemed altogether too cold and barren. It wasn't until the 1900 convention that a committee of 5 was appointed to draw up a uniform method of initiation. A member of this committee was none other than a young Charles Evans Hughes, who would later serve as Chief Justice of the United States. The new initiation rite underwent several modest changes for the next few years until a finalized draft was formally approved at the 1911 convention, and in the fall of 1912, the fraternity published the first DU initiation ritual. The ritual consisted of 3 rites. In Rite 1, the candidates were informed of the general nature of the vows to be taken later on, and an opportunity was also given for each man to express a willingness to continue the ceremony. While this was in progress, the rest of the chapter and visiting alumni were called to order in another room for Rite 2 and informed of the names of the candidates. It was at this time that the opportunity to express any objection toward any candidate was offered. Rite 1 and 2 were conducted simultaneously. Rite 3 was then conducted toward the candidates, containing the formal ceremony of reciting a pledge that closely resembled the current oath of initiation. No alteration of the 1911 ritual took place until 1921, when the use of roll books and having the candidates inscribe their names within them was added to the ceremony. In addition, some slight wording changes were made, and structurally, Rites 2 and 3 were combined to make the ritual a ceremony of 2 rites. Further changes in the language were made to the ritual until finally in 1937, the Undergraduate Convention and Alumni Assembly adopted the ritual of initiation that is now in use today. The only change since that time was the addition of an alternate prayer text in 1973 until 2002, when the language of the ritual was updated and additional ceremonies for pledging, officer installation, memorials, and funerals were added to what is now the current version of the ritual book. Throughout our history, whether simple or elegant, we have conducted some semblance of order or ritual to add to the solemnity of the occasion. But regardless of the detail of the ceremony, there has always been a verbal contract that binds us together. That contract is our oath. The oath is what makes us brothers. The ritual is the vehicle by which we express ourselves, and fortunately for us, are able to share it openly with others. The ritual should always be viewed with a special reverence, for it is the time when the fraternity adds men of moral character to its fold, and for the men themselves, it marks the beginning of a new chapter in their lives.